Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen Thomas with Refine Realty, and this is this Friday's version of Finance Fridays. As always, we're going to be talking about situations and tricks and tips that we can do in order to help ourselves build more wealth. And we're going to kind of finish or keep the flow going in the series that we've kind of been talking about, where we kind of are setting up those building blocks, right? So we talked about budgeting a few weeks ago. We talked about savings last week and possible first time home buying. Down payment assistance a little bit last week as well. So this week we're going to be talking more about the types of loans that are out there that allow you or help you get into the home of your dreams, right? So we're going to be talking more about which loans generally work the best. Again, I am not a mortgage professional, but I do know a little bit about loans, and we're going to talk about each type of loan and how each situation kind of makes your situation a little bit better. So every loan doesn't work for everybody. So we'll kind of go more in depth to that. And then we're also going to start our conversation about credit and how we can effectively manage our credit and even kind of clean up our credit ourselves and go and get into that other section. So as always, we're going to try to get started, and I won't be before you know. So there are probably about 5 or 6 different types of loans. Most loans, or when you're starting the loan process, most people don't know what loan they're actually applying for, or don't know which loan that their loan officer is putting them into, right? When you fill out your application, loan officers are looking at credit, they're looking at income, they're looking at your DTI. Again, DTI is your debt to income ratio. Your debt to income ratio is the piece of the mortgage process that allows the mortgage company or the realtor to know exactly how much home that you can qualify for. So that's what comes up with your payment. So it doesn't really matter how much money you make if your debts are consuming most of your income. So again, even when I was at the bank, I had $1 million clients that couldn't afford a $250,000 home because the way they wrote off their income and as many debts as they had, according to the debt to income ratio, they could not get the home that they wanted because the DTI was too high. And we'll probably touch more on DTI, more in depth, probably next week as we get more into credit and the mortgage process, those type of things. Again, I kind of want to keep the focus on the types of mortgages today. So we'll get to that next week, right? So after you finally get that information, which will be credit score, income, assets, those type of things, then most of your lenders try to put you in the best program. Each loan has benefits that the others does, right? So when it comes to the types of loans, there are government loans, and there's what they call conventional or confirming loans, right? So the government loans are the ones that you probably mainly heard of: your FHAs, your VAs, and your USDA, okay? FHA loan is usually what most people get when they're applying for a loan. And the reason why that is hey, what's up, PK? What's good? Most clients are able to get the FHA loan because their requirements are a little bit more lenient when it comes to the loan process. Their credit standards are a little bit lower. To get an FHA loan, most of the time, you need about a 580 to get started. Okay, 580 credit score allows you to get into the door with an FHA loan, and there aren't any restrictions or anything like that when it comes to where you can buy, how much you can buy, or anything like that. But just to get an FHA loan, period, it's about a 580 credit score. Okay. The VA loans, obviously, you must be one of our armed service veterans to be able to get that loan. Okay, the VA loan also has some good aspects of it. Around that time, I've seen as low as about 600. Sometimes you may be able to slide in with a 580, depending on assets and things like that. Then you have your USDA loan. Your USDA loan is an old school loan that is really geared more towards the farming industry or the cattle industry. However, because of the way a lot of our cities, especially in Texas, have been expanding and expanding quickly, some of the areas that we are looking into now still qualify for USDA. Most of you know that I live in the Red Oak area, and it's booming right now. There's areas in Red Oak that still qualify for a USDA loan, right? So USDA loan is 100% financing vehicle, which means you do not have to bring your own down payment. You can actually get, the house is worth $200,000. You will get a loan for $200,000. You don't have to put any down payment in order to get that loan. Now, there are other restrictions, and like I said, we're not going to go into in depth on all that because it'd be way too long. We're just going to talk about the basics at this point. But USDA allows you to get into the home with 100% financing, no down payment. Now, areas that qualify for that right now, like I said, there's parts of Red Oak, parts of Waxahachie, a lot of Midlothian, some parts of Mansfield. For my east side people, you're looking at Forney. Northern people were looking at Anna, Melissa. Now that people are kind of expanding past Allen and Prosper, and now we're trying to get into the Allen and the Melissa area. Those areas qualify. A lot of Denton qualifies for those as well. Okay. Now, credit scores for that, about 620. Most of those require you to have a minimum of a 620 credit score. But again, their DTI requirements are a little bit more strenuous. And we'll talk about DTI more next week. You have to hit a certain percentage of your debt to income ratio that you have to be in order to qualify for that loan. But again, we're going to go back to FHA because, again, that's the main loan that most people qualify for, right? Again, 580 to get in the door. DTI go up to about 51, 53%, depending on the lender that you're dealing with. With the FHA loan, you are required to put a minimum of 3.5% down, which means if you get a $200,000 home, you are required to bring $7,000 to the closing table for your down payment. That's your skin in the game. That's how you show that you're serious about buying the home. Okay. Now, your down payment, totally different from your closing costs. Down payment is the amount of money that you are bringing to the table to put with your loan to purchase the home, right? Closing costs is your expenses for getting the loan. These are the way the banks get paid. These are the way the title company gets paid. These are your escrow accounts. So we'll talk about escrow if we have time, because I'm running out of time already. These are upfront fees, upfront taxes, upfront insurance, those type of things. So that's a separate amount from just your down payment, right? And then when that's before any down payment assistance kicks in, that's any assistance from your maybe from the seller that you may get. That's those type of things. So in general, when you're looking at an FHA, I always kind of have my clients say plan for about 7% before you get any help anywhere else, any down payment assistance. Again, this is before down payment assistance. This is before assistance from your lender, before assistance from the seller or your real estate agent. Okay, so we're looking at about 7% total, right? So those take care of your government loans. Hey, just want to thank you guys for tuning in this week's episode of Finance Fridays. If you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Again, this is Stephen Thomas with Refine Realty, where the advice is free, but the knowledge is priceless. See y'all next week.